Hey, Big V here. We're talking teams. That's right, we're talking teams. One of the biggest questions that I get from team leaders, from brokers and owners, from anybody that leads a team in any business is, how do you motivate your team? I want you to think about this for a minute. Many years ago, I was with some great Olympians, and I asked John Neighbor, president of U.S. Olympians, what is it and who is it you coach? And I thought it was really interesting when he gave me the answer. He says, have you ever been to a park and seen a kid pulling with a new puppy, and that Labrador puppy is pulling that kid through the park, and the kid's trying to hold on as he's dragging him through? I go, yeah, I get that visual. He goes, I coach that puppy. If I have to motivate you, if I have to hold meat in front of your nose, if I have to kick you along and try and make you go forward, then I don't need you. Well, so that's exactly what I think about teams. The reality is, I wish everybody came in as motivated as that puppy. But the reality is some people just don't know how to be motivated or self-motivated. Oftentimes, team leaders like to hire people who are like them. The problem is people like them are team leaders, or they're soon going to be team leaders. And there's a place for every personality, every behavioral style on a team, as long as you properly set goals, as long as you properly set responsibilities and minimum levels of acceptable performance. So there's a few things that we do in coaching and developing team leaders as they try and motivate, as they develop and motivate members of their team. So I'm going to give you the top 10. Number one is set clear goals and establish them. Make sure they're achievable. As we set goals, let me give you an example of a goal. Your goal every day is to add 2 new people to the database. When we're teaching team leaders, one of the things we'll tell them is that for every 25 leads you generate, we add a buyer's agent. What the team leader hears is, for every buyer's agent, I have to provide 25 leads. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we create an environment where that buyer's agent is responsible to bring 25 leads in every single month. Or the number might be 100, or the number might be 50, whatever that is. You have to set your goals, and then we have to teach our agents that this is their exact number of what they're going to be held accountable to. So I like to say the minimum of 2 new people come into the database every single day. Another thing in setting proper goals is the minimum level of production is 24 deals a year. You got to sell 2 deals a month. If you're not doing 2 deals a month consistently, then we have to focus on different activities. So number 1 is setting clear and achievable goals. Number 2 is offer attractive incentives. Let me give you an example of what an attractive incentive program might be like. So with buyer's agents, we want team leaders to run their business at a 50% gross profit after the cost of sale. And we want to motivate increased production by our buyer's agent. So we've created a tiered compensation structure that looks something like this. For the first 2 deals that come in a month to the buyer's agent, they make 40% split. For deals 3 and 4, they make 45%. And at deal 5+, they make 50%. So we incentivize that at every level of performance, they increase the amount of money they earn on their transactions. By creating tiered compensation like that, it incentivizes agents to get to the place where they're earning a 50-50 split. Number 3 is to provide ongoing training and support. There's a variety of different training programs out there, but for the teams that are coached by Workman, we encourage them to do specialized training for buyer's agents, listing agents, and administrative assistants. Go through and make sure that you're providing the additional training. One of the greatest recruiting tools that we use is we run these 10 and 12-week courses within our teams, and we invite agents from the outside to see if they match and they meet the culture, the criteria of hungry, humble, and smart on our teams. So provide specialized training for each of the positions so people feel like they're getting all the resources they need to be successful in their role. Number 4 is creating and fostering a phenomenal team culture. Oh my gosh, I love a team culture. You know when your team has it, and you also know when they don't. A great team culture has each other's back. When one team member has to go to a ball game or they want to go on vacation, another team member steps up and says, I got your back, let me do that for you. And they don't try and figure out how they're going to get compensated because they know that the other team member is going to have their back when they need some time off. Having a great team culture means that we all show up at our daily huddles. We practice our scripts and dialogues together, and we all prospect. We celebrate each other's successes, and we high-five each other when we have wins. And we build and lift each other up when we have challenges. Culture is everything in a high-performing team. Number 5 is to create gamification. You gotta have fun. If it's not fun, I'm not going. Matter of fact, there's 2 ways to motivate a team. One is sticks, and the other is carrots. A stick works like this. If you don't do what you say you're gonna do, The penalty is I'm going to cut you off from leads, or you don't get to work my open house, or you have to prospect an extra 2 hours a day. Most people don't respond well to stick motivation. The other is carrots. Carrots are rewards or awards or things that make them feel good about themselves. I've seen everything from trips to leverage, where they get to come to the conference because they hit their prospecting goals, or they get gas cards by doing their daily success habits every single day for a week. And they get a $50 gas card. Having gamification and competing with each other makes a big difference. We have a team in Texas who recently competed for 60 listing appointments a month, with every member of the team being involved in a team where they competed for the most appointments. What happened as a result? Everybody made more money, and it was fun because we had clear winners and clear rewards for success. So gamify your incentivized programs. Don't always just use sticks. They're not very effective, and people don't respond very well to that type of motivation. Number 7 is, if you want your team to be motivated, they need to be able to feel like they're part of the decision-making process. When you're a dictator and you're just telling people what to do all the time, then they don't respond very well. But when you lead by serving, and you ask for their input, and you look for reasons where you can help people grow, and you ask for their input, what happens is they feel like they have input into the direction of the team. And when things aren't going right and they steer it in a different direction and they have new success, and you celebrate their input as a reason we have a win, that's how team culture is created. So allow people to be part of the process. It doesn't mean you always have to do what they say, but make them feel heard and make course corrections as is necessary. Number 8, and this is a big one when we talk about creating highly effective teams. Number 8 is, when you have high performers on your team, they get to a place where they don't feel like they have any additional opportunities to grow. And so how, when you become a great buyer's agent, can you move into a listing partner? How, if you're earning $100,000 a year, can you put yourself in a position to earn $200,000 a year? When you both have worked as a buyer's agent and a listing partner, and now you can do all of it, and you have high performing consistently, what happens is the team members begin to get stir crazy. And you have to be proactive as a leader at creating new programs, new systems, sometimes even building teams within the team so that they can create leverage and have a great life as well. We have agents on teams that have been there for 12 and 13 years because the team leader had the foresight and the thought to make sure that there was incentive so that they could see clearly growth opportunities going forward. Number 9 is to maintain open communication channels in everything. No matter how high the performer on your team, they have challenges and want to feel like they have someone they can go to when they have challenges. They need to be able to have open communication, whether it's via text or group chat or face-to-face. Make sure as a team leader that you open your door and you allow your team members to share and to talk and to work through problems with you. As you do that with them, the bond grows and the retention increases. Number 10 is to create a stimulating work environment. What does it feel like when people come into your office? Do they have comfortable workspaces? Is there collaboration areas where they can sit and share ideas with each other? Do we have the resources they need to be able to get things done, whether it's printers or high-speed internet or the ability to get new content and ideas? There's so many things you can do to create an open and friendly environment that people want to be part of, but you have to be intentional about creating that environment. Remember, every team is unique, every leader is different, and every team member needs different things. If you just look at this top 10 things that you need to be able to create a great environment for your team, I think you're going to find that motivating them is not the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge is going to be selection and deciding who earns a seat at the table. If you'd like more about how to really run an effective team huddle, what to do to when you want to create accountability, I'm going to give you the download of the daily huddle. Remember, every team is unique. Every leader is different. Great leaders adapt their strategy to meet the needs of their team members. But one thing I know always works. If you meet daily with your team members, you create consistency in your huddles, and you inspect the right things, the team will respond positively and you'll start to get predictable results. If you want to know what we do in our team huddles, just click on the link below and I'll give you the outline of our team huddles. Having a great team is fun. Motivating your team is not as hard as you think it might be if you select the right people and create the right environment.